Hi everybody, welcome back to the Adventures in Collecting YouTube channel where we unbox the toys we talk about on the show, and today's episode comes to you special from our friends at Diamond Select Collectibles, Diamond Select Toys. We got a super cool care package in the mail containing a figure that I have been trying to hunt down for quite some time, and kindly enough they provided it to us to review, which I'm super thankful and excited about. So thank you to the folks at Diamond Select. And if you read the title, you knew why you're here. I, of course, am talking about the Rocketeer. Oh my god, the Rocketeer. This was one of my favorite movies growing up, but I have a really cool painting of Mickey Mouse as the Rocketeer that my wife got me from Disney World years and years ago. It's a huge influence to me. I love Joe Johnston's work. I love World War II era stuff. You know, basically, anytime anybody's punching Nazis, it's cool. And The Rocketeer is such a good movie. If you haven't watched it, I can't recommend it enough. It's on Disney+. Definitely watch it. If you have little ones, there's even a Rocketeer TV show out now that's a lot of fun, cartoon. Spoiler alert, it's about his granddaughter, and she kind of takes up the mantle of being the Rocketeer, but it's awesome, and I cannot wait to open this figure. So there are two versions of this particular Rocketeer figure. There is the one I'm holding here, which is like the comic shop main release from Diamond, and then there is the Walgreens exclusive release, which comes in a smaller box with fewer accessories. Same figure, ultimately. You get the helmeted head, you get the figure, and you get the two rocket pieces, but in this pack, you get some extra hands, you get blueprints, you get an extra garb piece here, and then you get a really cool stand, which we'll get into. So let's go into the package here. You get the great art that reminds me, you know, of the art from the film. You get the picture of the figure here, and then on the back you get the pictures of the product itself, along with a little description. This was designed by Yuri Timing, or Timing. I don't know how you actually pronounce that, Yuri. I'm sorry. And it was sculpted by Gentle Giant. So, you know, familiar names that we've seen before when we're talking about Diamond Select figures. So without further ado, I will be back, and we're going to get him out of the package. So I'm back. I have him out of the package, and I'm super excited to show him to you. So here we are. We have the Rocketeer with his non-helmeted look. The likeness, you know, to the actor is it's all right. I'd say it's good. You know, it's a little cartoony, but that's fine. It definitely captures the essence of the character without problem. The rest of the paint and detail is great, as you can see. We'll get into it a little bit later, but his chest piece does come off. He has a swappable one. It's keyed so that it can only fit a certain way. There's no way to get that messed up. It does stay in there pretty well. You know, again, these are not toys, they're collectibles. If you were playing with this as a kid, there's no shot that that's staying on. I mean, that is coming right off. It's really just kind of held on by the friction of how hard you push it in there. The detail on the actual pack is fantastic. There's not too much in the way of wear to it. Like, there's no scoring or anything from heat, but you can see the detail is nice, and of course they have the key piece of chewing gum stuck there, the thing that helps him stay airborne, and keep his balance. So, getting into the articulation, so the head articulation, the head obviously does come off, and for the sake of doing the articulation, we will get into the helmeted head, which of course is the most iconic look, and something that, the way that I undoubtedly will be displaying him, yeah, of course, much better, there we go. The back fin is a little bendy, so just be careful with it. But even with that on, he's able to look down and up considerably. He does have the are they? No butterfly joints. He does have the ball joints at the shoulders. He has the bicep swivel. He has the double jointed elbow. And he has swappable hands that all have wrist movement to them. And of course the swivel there. He has no torso articulation other than a little teeny bit of tiny, teeny bit of waist swivel there, which is kind of impeded by his butt, believe it or not. The rocket pack does not come off, which is fine. Why would you really want to take it off? As you can see, if I pop up the front there, it's part of this harness. It is pre-connected. The legs, he is able to do the splits easily. He rotates above the knee, as well as having a ball joint there at the knee. He rotates again below the knee, so we have a rotate above as well as below the knee. Lots of leg articulation there, and then the typical rocker at the foot, at the ankle. Getting into his accessories, we have a bunch. So we have a series of hands. We have two kind of like palmed, ungloved hands. We have a fist for the, what is this? Is this the right hand? Yes, and the right-handed fist, I don't know if you can really see. It looks like he's pushing the button, which is really cool. There's really not a lot of paint detail in that. You can see a little tiny bit of sculpting. It's going to be really difficult to see in here. I'll make sure I get a closer picture of it in the Lightbox. But it does look like he's squeezing the button, which is cool. He does, oddly enough, is that he has a trigger finger hand with no gun. Almost as if to say, you know, kind of taking a page out of our friend Toy Shiz's book here, who did a review of this same figure. It's almost like, hey, do you have a Ruger that you could give him? Because if you do, here's a hand for it. Yeah, so they do give you that. We have two flame effects. These are the ones, again, and, you know, just kind of holding them up to a light. They are fairly translucent, so if you do have lighting effects in your display, these should work really well with them. They port in really, really nicely into the back of his backpack, or his jetpack there. They look great. You know, if you have a decent flight stand, this should be, you know, kind of a no-brainer. So if this is as far as you got, and you were only able to get the Walgreens one, this is what you have. And it's a great-looking figure. Now, if you do have this version, which is, like I said, the comic shop version, you get this awesome. Look at that. Look at that flame effect. It's so good. And it's the same two ports. So it's actually a stand for him at that point. And let's see. With a little bit of squeezing, we get it on. And that is fantastic. And then the last piece here that you get is the blueprints for the actual rocket pack itself, which is fantastic. Nice little touch. It's on a nice thick piece of cardstock, so you don't have to worry about it ripping. I don't know if you recall the Jay and Silent Bob figures from way back, from like the Mallrats days. They came with the blueprints of what they were going to do to, you know, at the mall, and they were paper rolled up blueprints. So after a couple times of rolling them and then unrolling them, they were shot. This is a nice, like almost like the same thickness as a baseball card. Yeah, so that's awesome. I'm not going to nitpick too much, because ultimately it is the best, I think the best version of this figure in this scale so far. The detail is great. I would have loved a little bit more detail on the pack, on the jetpack. It looks too clean. And like, yeah, it has that kind of 1940s, you know, Americana vibe to it, where everything is kind of like shiny and like, you know, Zeppelin-y looking. But it would have been great to have just kind of some scoring effects. I'm by no means a painter, so there's no way that I'm going to be able to do that. So that would have been great. And of course the ability to take the pack off, you know, just for the ability to kind of change up your display, you know, to kit bash, to put the Rocketeer pack on somebody else, you know, is always fun. But ultimately, this is a great figure. I'd say the only accessory that it's missing would be a gun, since they're giving you a pistol hand. So that would have been great too. But it feels so good to have a Rocketeer figure again. The only Rocketeer figure that I ever had growing up was the Bendy Rocketeer figure with the bright red jumpsuit. So happy to have a Rocketeer figure again. This is another thumbs up for Diamond. The recent stuff that we've we've seen from them has just been, you know, the hits just keep on coming. You know, with the Iron Giant figure and the Tron figures and yeah, the PS4 Spider-Man, the Sandman. It's just been it's been a really great time for collectors, especially if you're collecting this scale. If you love the Rocketeer, this is the one. This is the way to go. This is the one to have, especially with the helmet on. You know, I could take or leave the unhelmeted head. This is the look right here. This is it. So as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there so that way you don't miss videos like this, where we talk about toys. And while you're subscribing to things, make sure you follow us at AIC_podcast on Instagram and Twitter, where we're constantly posting toy news and all the things that we find out about the toy world. And lastly, find us where it started. So here, Adventures in Collecting Podcast, wherever you find podcasts, you could just search for us, or you could hit the link down there in the description to take you to our website, where we have all the links set up to all the different podcast providers and platforms and ways to go about finding us and reading our new blog. Oh, well, I can't say new because I don't know when you're watching this video, but we'll be updating the blog once a month with just kind of like a monthly recap or topic or something. You know, Dave and I also like to write, among other things. So stick around after the fade for the slideshow, where we'll take some pictures of this guy. And as always, until next time.